Is retro game hunting just as addictive as collecting itself, or is it possibly more addicting in general? Dr. Iowa, Retro Gamer Dad here. I'm just kidding. Read the disclaimer. Not an actual doctor, but just... We've been doing kind of like these, some have dubbed them therapy videos or whatever, talking about addiction and everything that goes along with it. We talked more about, in the past, about the game collecting addiction itself, and also, you know, the stuff like fear of missing out on special deals, so you buy just to buy. And today we're going to talk about something a little different, but not really different, and that itself is the addictiveness of game hunting itself. So looking up in the dictionary.com, addiction is the state of being compulsively committed to a habit or practice, or to something that is psychologically or physically habit forming, such as narcotics, to such an extent that it causes severe trauma. So obviously, with the state of compulsively committing to a habit or practice, we talk about game hunting because let's face it, how are you going to build a game collection if you don't hunt for it? And now, just a side note for this. Now, I'm not saying that if you game hunt a lot or if you collect a lot of video games that you are addicted to it. This is just conversation pieces and kind of talking more about this. So, the one thing that we are going to target mostly in talking about this is the severe trauma part of it. So, let's say you have $30 till Friday. You don't have food or anything, but you see a pop-up on Facebook Marketplace that somebody is selling a bunch of games for $30. And let's say, you know, it's a couple days till you would get money again. But you're so hooked on hunting that you drop your last $30. It's supposed to go towards food. It's supposed to go towards a bill. It's supposed to go towards something else. But you're so habit dependent and so psychologically dependent on the game hunting itself that you spend the last bit of your money, and that's really what we want to talk about. I've admitted in the past that I've dealt with something like this, whether it be not to the extent that my family was starving or that I couldn't pay the bills, but I would spend money on games that I really didn't want or didn't need, only because it popped up on Facebook. It popped up on Mercari, it popped up on eBay, and I was so hooked on hunting that I was continuously looking for stuff no matter what. So I would just sit there and scour Mercari and everything and be like, you know, new listings for games, and it got to the point, you know, that it was just, I was dedicating so much time to it that it was ridiculous, guys. I'd wake up in the morning, have my morning coffee, sit there for 30 minutes scrolling, game hunting. I would be pursuing and bothering people on Facebook Marketplace if I saw games. I would try to undermine or underbid people that have already claimed items. I would try to, you know, offer more money or offer a better deal or anything with that, all because I just wanted to hunt so bad and get those games so bad. But it was getting to the point where it was like I didn't even know why I was doing it, because as recently we've been talking about, I got rid of a bunch of my games. I had a huge collection, not compared to a lot of people, you know, like people that have almost 1,000 games. I was more in the 500 range, but I got rid of probably more than half those games. And as I was trading them in and I was selling them, I was seeing tags on there and receipts in the cases and everything when I bought them or when I found them, and it was just like, I had bought these with the intentions of playing, with building, you know, original Xbox collection and everything, but I never even got around to playing them. So they were literally, like, there was a few games that I bought at the game store, had the tag and everything still on them, and then I returned them to the game store, basically untouched. I rented the game and probably paid more for it, and it was just all on account of wanting to, you know, to get the games in general. But what we want to talk about more is the game hunting part of it. So, I mean, you honestly have to ask yourself, do you find yourself having to hunt for games? Or if, you know, there's something else going on, let's say you are doing something with your family or doing something with your friends, do you find yourself continuously having to look around to see, oh hey, we're gonna go eat at Chili's. I don't know why Chili's, but I said Chili's. We're gonna go at Chili's, and I know there's a pawn store or a game store or a thrift store right by there. Maybe I should go a little early so I can go see if there's any games there. Or maybe I'll be a little late for the dinner or something. I'm gonna stop off and I'm gonna see if there's any games there. And then you show up late, or you don't even show up at all. You just kind of show up late, we'll say. And you make up some dumb excuse. Oh, I was doing this. It took forever to get going. Blah blah blah. But then when you start doing stuff like this and you start cutting times into your personal life, into your social life and stuff like that, that is signs of, obviously with addiction. So being somebody that has dealt with addiction or is still currently dealing with addiction, when you start pushing people away and start doing all this other stuff is when it really starts getting bad, because one of the things of addiction that's really bad is loneliness, and a lot of times we isolate, and it's not good at all. And that's when the really bad stuff starts to happen, is when you're always by yourself. But that was just one example of the game hunting stuff itself, like dodging, cutting time into your social life, all on account of wanting to hunt or find other games. So like I said, I can go from some personal experiences of the past. Like one time when I was, I think it was my wife and I's wedding anniversary, and we were going down to a bigger city. We were staying there. Instead of focusing on each other, I was, bless her. She deals with this stuff with me all the time. And I really love my wife because of that. But when we gotten bored on the vacation, we were trying to find stuff to do, and of course I looked nearby just to see, and I found pawn stores, and I found a CD stop and stuff like that. So we decided to go check that out. She had no interest in it. She didn't want nothing there. She was actually just supporting me and wanting to do what I wanted to do, and I was really just the fact that I'm in a new city, so I want to go game hunting. I want to see all the stuff here that I've probably never seen before, even though I have seen all that stuff. And if anything, it was just not, it wasn't worth it, guys. It's same stuff, probably more overpriced because it's in the city. But I've done stuff like that in the past where I focused more on this stuff when I shouldn't have been, and I should have been focusing on a lot of other stuff. So the whole point of this, talking in the past about getting rid of a bunch of games and stuff, is trying to break myself kind of that grab on, of that feeling where I had to have this stuff to make me feel better. Because that's one of the big things with like drug addiction and stuff like that, is the dopamine, the feeling of getting a deal, of finding a pile of games, of doing all this stuff, and then once you find it and you get it, you bring it home, you're like, yes, oh, I'm awesome, this is amazing, I can't believe I got this deal. And then you reset. You basically, the dopamine's gone. Your serotonin, or whatever you want to say, is gone, and you're back to kind of like what you want to call a downward spiral. You want to just be like, you're like, oh my god, I feel, I need to find something else. Maybe I need to find some more games. You feel incomplete. You feel like there's a void. You feel like whatever's in there. And a lot of times it's almost like a hungover feeling, or a lot of times people would call it dope sick or something. You're basically coming down and you need another jump start, or otherwise you feel like you won't feel good again. So that's why a lot of times we will continue to do this cycle, this eternal loop of just hunting and hunting and hunting. And I want to throw this in one more time. I'm not saying that everybody that game hunts a lot or does some of this stuff is addicted to it. This is just my personal opinion on this. This is just my personal experiences on it. And if you share those experiences with it, the same thoughts and stuff like that, I'm just saying that there's a good chance that you might be addicted to game hunting and stuff like that. And if you do think you have any problems with this, feel free to comment below. I always like to hear your guys' stories. A lot of you guys, I love seeing your big comments. They'll be like this long, and it's overwhelming at first, but I love reading through it just to see, and that's one thing I try to do in this channel, is to make sure that anytime you guys comment or something, I try to make a very good response to it. I don't try to do generic, thumbs up or just like and heart like a lot of channels my size would do, or even bigger. I try to actually make sure that we connect. I want to connect more with you guys, so until my channel becomes so big that I can't control it and I can't comment on everything, that's what I'm going to focus on. So I just want to thank you guys for listening to me today. And like I said, if you ever think you have a problem with addiction or anything like that and you need somebody to talk to, feel free to reach out to me in the comments below or through Instagram. Go ahead and DM me. I've had a lot of people in the past reach out and thank me for doing these videos. They connect somehow with it, and yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video today. As always, stay retro, and we'll see you in the next video.